What if the moon collided with the Earth? This question hangs in the dark, a whisper against the silence of space. Imagine the night sky, familiar and calm, beginning to change. The moon, our constant silver companion, grows larger. It does not rise and set. It simply expands. It fills the window frame, then the entire sky. It looks like a second sun, one made of cold, white rock and shadow. At first, people watch in silent wonder. They point their phones upward, capturing the impossible sight. They do not yet understand the danger. Then a low hum begins, a vibration felt deep in the bones, and the ground starts to shake. The first signs of the end are not fire, but water. The moon's gravity, now a monstrous force, pulls at our planet. The oceans bulge. Huge tides rise, not like waves, but like the sea itself standing up. Water moves like a slow, unstoppable wall, climbing over coastlines and surging miles inland. In places where the pull is strongest, the ocean begins to boil. Great ships, once masters of the sea, are tossed and torn apart like children's toys in a bathtub. Their metal hulls groan under the impossible strain. The moon and Earth pull on each other in a gravitational tug-of-war. The atmosphere is stretched and distorted. Dust and ash, stirred from the ground by constant tremors, begin to fill the sky. The familiar blue turns to a hazy, angry red and orange. The sun becomes a pale disk behind the thickening shroud. Ash begins to fall like a soft black snow, blanketing cars, homes, and trees in a layer of dark grit. What was once daytime now feels like a permanent, suffocating dusk, a world lit only by the eerie glow of the approaching moon. This gravitational dance is a prelude to the main event. Rocks, torn from the moon's surface by Earth's own pull, begin to rain down. These are the first arrivals. They are not gentle meteor showers. They are boulders and mountains of stone. They streak through the choked atmosphere, hitting the ground with bright, blinding flashes and deafening booms. The sound is not a single crack, but a constant rolling thunder, like the beat of a cosmic drum played by a mad giant. In many places, the power grids fail. The world goes dark, plunged into a primal fear, waiting for the final devastating impact. The moment of contact is not a single clean strike. It is a slow, grinding collision. The moon's edge grazes the Earth's atmosphere, and the friction generates incredible heat. The sky itself catches fire. A wave of superheated gas, moving faster than the speed of sound, expands from the impact zone. It incinerates everything in its path. Forests vanish in a silent white flash. Fields vanish in a silent white flash. Cities vanish in a silent white flash. The shockwave follows, flattening mountains, turning skyscrapers into dust. The sound of this impact is so immense that it travels through the very rock of the planet, a physical blow that shakes the world to its core. Heat, raw and unimaginable, blossoms near the point of impact. The crust of the Earth melts. Rock turns to liquid, forming rivers of glowing orange fire that flow across the land. Entire mountain ranges change shape in an instant, their peaks bending and breaking under the colossal pressure. New valleys are carved in mere hours, deep wounds in the planet's skin. Lava, born from the collision, runs over old highways. Lava runs over forgotten fields, erasing all traces of what was there before. Whole continents can disappear under a blanket of smoke. Whole continents can disappear under a blanket of ash. Whole continents can disappear under a blanket of molten flame, lost to memory forever. Strange and beautiful things happen in the sky. The collision energizes the planet's magnetic field, creating powerful planetary auroras. Bands of shimmering green, purple, and red light dance across the darkened globe. These are not the gentle lights of the poles. They are intense, violent storms of color, visible from every corner of the Earth. The magnetic storms are so strong they fry all electronics. Satellites tumble from orbit. Phones go silent. Computers go silent. Power stations go silent, leaving humanity in a new dark age. The moon has only a fraction of the Earth's mass. Yet the energy released by such a collision is almost beyond comprehension. Scientists can measure this power, but the numbers are too large to feel. A simple fact helps us understand. A fast-moving object carries immense power. We see this when a small rock from the highway cracks a windshield. Now imagine that rock is the size of a continent, moving at thousands of miles per hour. In the chaos of the impact, life does not simply vanish. It clings to survival in the most unlikely of places. Deep underground caves, shielded by miles of rock, become accidental refuges. Life around deep-sea hydrothermal vents, already accustomed to darkness, crushing pressure, might not even notice the world above has ended. Some simple forms of life, like microbes buried in the Earth's crust, can survive extreme heat and darkness. Their survival is a testament to the sheer toughness of life itself. It is also a stark reminder of how fragile our own world, the world of sun and gentle breezes, truly is. What would you think in that final hour? Surrounded by the roar of a dying world and the glow of a falling sky, what becomes important? Would you look up, mesmerized by the terrible beauty? Or would you reach for the hand of someone you love? Would you scream against the noise, or would you find a moment of quiet peace? This question is not about science or survival. It is a question about our own hearts. It is a question about fear, love, and what it means to be human in the face of the ultimate end. In the hours and days that follow, the sky is a canvas of destruction. The moon may not be whole. It may have shattered on impact. Pieces of it, along with rock from Earth, are thrown into orbit. These fragments form new, chaotic rings around our planet. The night sky, once dotted with distant stars, could become a brilliant, crowded scene. New streaks of light, fragments burning up in the atmosphere, cross the sky every second. For any who survive to see it, it is a sight of profound grief for a world that is gone, and a strange, terrible awe at the new one being born. We can learn real science from these imagined images of destruction. For example, we see how tides are a direct result of gravity, a force that can be gentle or world-breaking. We see how immense heat and pressure can transform rock, a process geologists call metamorphism, but on a planetary scale. We see how life can shift and adapt, finding niches to survive even the most catastrophic events. These facts are simple when read in a book, but they become strange, powerful, and deeply meaningful when we see them play out in a storm of cosmic fire and shadow. As years turn into decades, the planet begins to heal, but it will never be the same. The initial searing heat subsides. The world slowly cools. Molten rock hardens into new, alien landscapes. The dust and ash that choke the atmosphere for a generation gradually settle, revealing a changed sky. New oceans formed from condensed steam and melted ice fill the massive new basins carved by the impact. The Earth now bears deep, permanent scars. A large part of its mass may be gone, or it may have gained mass from the moon's remains. The length of a day is different. The tilt of the axis has shifted, creating new seasons and a new climate. The rings of debris that encircle the planet are a constant reminder of the night the moon fell. They shine in the sunlight, casting complex, shifting shadows. At night, they reflect a soft, ethereal glow. Over thousands of years, these rings will coalesce, perhaps forming one or more new, smaller moons. Future inhabitants of Earth would watch this celestial construction project unfold. Survivors emerging from their underground shelters would face a world that is both alien and hauntingly familiar. They would need to learn everything anew: what to eat, where the new rivers flow, and how to predict the weather in a sky with no moon. They would tell stories of the old world, the world of blue skies and a single, gentle moon. Life, resilient and stubborn, would begin its slow recovery. First green shoots through ash, hardy creatures emerging, the food chain rebuilt from the simplest forms. It would be a second Genesis. In the end, long after the fire and fury, the scene is quiet. The new moons, if they have formed, hang in the sky, small and unfamiliar. The stars look cold and distant. The memory of the bright fire and falling sky remains, not in the air, but in the rock, and in the stories of those who remember. The Earth is a survivor. Even after the most unimaginable violence, the universe continues. The planet is more fragile than we ever imagined, and stronger than we could ever believe. We are left with a profound sense of loss, but also of renewal. What if the moon collided with the Earth? The question is wild and terrible. It paints a picture of destruction on a scale that's hard to grasp. But it does more than that. It helps us see the breathtaking beauty of the world we have right now. It forces us to look up at our own moon, hanging peacefully in the night sky, and appreciate its silent, steady presence. From the simple rhythm of the tides to the gentle light that has inspired poets, lovers, dreamers. The story of the moon's fall is a story about perspective. It reminds us our world, with its stable climate and calm skies, is a rare and precious gift. Thinking about these forces is not to create fear, but to inspire gratitude and responsibility. It asks us to value the calm while we have it, and to care for our planet, our only home, with the reverence it deserves. We are temporary guardians of a remarkable place. In the quiet aftermath of a catastrophe that never happened, we learn the most important lesson: to cherish the now, to wonder at the beauty, and to protect the fragile, beautiful piece of our world.